Hello, welcome to week 3 of the BPL Draft League. Um, our matchup today is, I shouldn't have enlarged this yet. I guess it's fine if I enlarge it like that, but our matchup for the day is Kodakuna. This is a replacement coach that came in for the previous owner of the team. So after this week, they were allowed to make a ton of switches. And basically, obviously this isn't their team. We actually meet our match in the speed tier department in terms of Regieleki and Excelgor. I was kind of worried about Throat Spray Excelgor because that's what the previous owner of the team brought in earlier weeks. In week 1 they didn't participate. Week 2, but that's besides the point. I don't know what came up for them, but they just weren't able to continue, and yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Coda was a really cool coach throughout the season. Their team was pretty sick after they changed it. Um, and yeah, let's get our game plan on the road. So starting off, we have Terragosa Aurora, just in case he brings Regieleki, because Terragosa Aurora completely and utterly walls Regieleki. Their only Terra Captain is Iron Bundle, so I'm not super concerned. I have enough speed to outspeed Iron Bundle, provided it's not scarfed or anything. And I have enough speed on Lando to outspeed, I believe it was Pheasantipity. I have a specially defensive girder to take hits from Gengar, Iron Bundle, and anything else he wants to throw at me, while still dealing good damage to both Incineroar and what's his face, Zarude. Up next, we got our little nuclear bomb for the matchup. I saw that Belly Drum Greedent was really, really strong into this team with both knockoff and body slam. And I figured, hey, why not? Let's bring it. And I have Bullet Seed for Iron Bundled. My goal with this thing was to drop it in on something that wasn't a threat, because there were a couple Pokemon on this team, right, that aren't threats. Like Pheasantipity is a great example. There's potential for me to get in on Excelgor in certain sets. Duraludon's another one. Obviously, there's a few that really won't let me do that, but Incineroar, for example, is even potential. There's nothing on this team that 2-hit KOs me without setup, right? Or OKOs me without setup. There's nothing on this team that OKOs me without setup. But that was why. That was one of my main reasons for bringing it. But the last 2 mons are Absol and Jirachi. I figured if they don't bring Regieleki, or for whatever reason, if I'm feeling like it, I lead Jirachi to get up rocks guaranteed. But I ultimately thought all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, if they lead Excadrill, right, and they just Earthquake into Rapid Spin, then my rocks are gone and I'm pretty much screwed. I think I had enough HP to survive anything besides Life Orb or Banded Excadrill Earthquake, but I'm not quite sure. I don't really remember. Plus Rapid Spin after the Earthquake. But I figured if they were Life Orb, they probably wouldn't have Rapid Spin, and if they were Banded, they would just have to Earthquake anyways, in which case I could go out to Lando. Any other set, it's I was able to take the Earthquake well. I believe that was something I calced. I don't remember, because this was many, many weeks ago. It's around the end of June, the midpoint, June 20th or something. And yeah, I used Terra Ice to resist hits from Iron Bundle, just in case something went haywire with Terragosa Aurora, or Regieleki didn't come, for example. But as you can see, Regieleki came to the fight. So we are going to lead Zeraora is the plan, and Terrestrialize immediately because it matches up really well into Regieleki, and I don't want this thing to be able to do anything later. So let's get straight into the battle. Their Terra Captain is Iron Bundle. For this match, they went Terra Flying, and yeah. His lead was Excadrill. And as you would expect, it is Mold Breaker. So straight off the bat, we're going to Terrestrialize. He switched out. He went into Pheasantipity. I figured he was probably switching out because he didn't want to risk anything with that. And yeah, we got the... it tells me it's not sashed, right? We got the Heavy Duty Boots off the Pheasantipity. I kind of expected this to be leftovers, if anything, so Heavy Duty Boots kind of surprised me a little because it's not a flying type, right? It's not weak to rocks, and it has roost, or it has roost potential, anyways. But yeah, I was surprised to see Heavy Duty Boots, and after this, I figured I'd just hard switch because, I mean, I didn't have to hard switch, but I don't know what was going on in my head at the time. I definitely could have volt switched, as you saw. I do have the move, but yeah, I figured I'd just go straight into this thing. They ended up Icy Winding. Fortunately, their ability cannot activate on Jirachi, so they U-turn. And I just simply get my rocks up, because that is the goal. I U-turn into the Incineroar, which tells me it is not Scarfed, which why would it be Scarfed? I don't know. But he does get a knockoff off on my Girder to remove the item, which, I mean, it is what it is, right? I just didn't want to take a fire move. But it was a good play. And then they hard switch into Pheasantipity because they don't want to take any unnecessary damage on their Incineroar. I use knockoff again. Of course, he predicts it, so I figured, hey, if he U-turns again, I don't want to get caught by that. Or if I figure, he's probably going to U-turn again. So because I don't want to get caught and switch advantage, I'm going to stay in, see what happens, predict the switch, right? Why not? I know I survive a Moonblast from this health. And I do, but I don't take it very well. And now I am very forced to switch. So I go back out to Jirachi. He gets a Roost off, back to full HP. So I'm like, shit, let's see if I can get Girder back to full HP, right? He gets in Excadrill, which kind of sucks for me, but it tells me it's not Boots. Which I don't know why you would ever run Boots on this, but it's just like information for me, right? I was learning at this time to pick up on any information I was given. I switch out. I was pretty okay with rocks going away here. So long as Jirachi stayed alive, I would have another opportunity to get them up. And I figured if I caught a Earthquake or something, I would be able to get a whatchamacallit, a substitute off. And sure enough, I caught the Earthquake, and I get my sub up. They brought in Regieleki for some reason. I really am not sure why. And Explode. So that prevents me from setting up. I didn't have setup on this, which is like, but it prevented me from setting up all the same, which is probably in their best interest, right? Because I think no matter what, they were probably faster than me after a Rock Polish, because it's Regieleki. I mean, it could be slower than me, just because, yeah, it's not a god, right? But it is what it is. They prevented a Rock Polish for the most part. I don't think, if I had Rock Polish there, I don't think there was anything they could have done, unless this was Scarfed, right? If it was Scarfed, then we had a problem. But Iron Bundle comes in. They sacked Regieleki because they realized it was useless in this matchup due to Terraghost Aurora existing. And he brought in Iron Bundle. And I'm forced to switch here because I don't want to take that hit. Girder's low on health. There's no real way I'm getting that thing back to full health with a wish or anything, so I'm cool sacking it. And, you know, I bring in Zeraora because I can tell it's Boots at this point, due to the rocks being up and the fact that it didn't take any damage when it came in, so I know for a fact I'm faster. I forget what I went for here. It was a knockoff. Okay. So I get their Life Orb, which is nice. And then they went into this thing. I don't know if they were expecting a CC or something. Or if they thought maybe, oh, it's Scarfed. I'm not sure. I forget what item I had on this thing. But anyways. I CC'd expecting them to stay in, kind of. They did not. which was a really good call by them. So because I know this thing's entire move pool at this point, I am very, very comfortable Volt switching out into Boambaji, my Greedent, to potentially get a belly drum up. If they U-turn out, I can still belly drum, but it would be bad, and I would probably just switch out to something else. But yeah, it's and if they brought in bundle, right, I instead would have just tried to set up right then and there, or just bullet seeded. Right, I had options there. But U-turns, fortunately, neither hit proc Toxic Chain, so that was really cool. It's possible it was Technician with Icy Wind, but I don't think that was the case. And in reality, it was probably Toxic Chain, and it just didn't get the trigger, which is really unfortunate for them because they had 2 instances where it could have triggered, and that probably would have changed the game significantly because I was not thinking about Toxic Chain at this point in time, that I recall very distinctly. Of course, they switch out, and I belly drum, because why wouldn't I in this position? Get some health back with Citrus and Cheek Pouch. And yeah, there's no way this Incineroar can kill me at this point. It is dead, no matter what they want to do. Gengar comes out, they're predicting no dark move. Maybe, right? Forcing a switch, something. I have knockoff. Gengar is dead. That was the thing I was kind of the most afraid of on their team at this point in time. I should have gone out to Zeraora at this point, but instead I went out to my Absol, because I did see that I did live some rolls of Hydro Pump with my investment, and there was the potential for it to miss too. So I was like, well, if this works, then Absol can get some kills. I probably should have just gone into Zeraora, because this was an absolutely unnecessary risk I took, and I ended up losing differential because of it. But hey, we got the Plasma Fist off. At this point, there's nothing faster on their team than Zeraora, and I just sweep from here. He could have, theoretically, tried to catch me clicking either like Plasma Fist or Close Combat back and forth, and eventually potentially finished me off with why is this Incineroar? Eventually tried to finish me off with a Moonblast plus Roost combo, but it was really unrealistic that anything could happen at this point, and that would be the game. Like that's all in hindsight, right? But it is what it is. If he had waited and gotten 2 more drops from CC off of me, he could have potentially killed. But I am also faster, so maybe I'm just dumb. I probably would have done enough damage with the CCs to the point where it wouldn't have mattered. He would have just died to a Plasma Fist. But yeah, if he had gone into this and roosted immediately, he could have started healing up. I think that's the win con I'm thinking more about. But yeah, Coda has been pretty cool about the season. We were forced to give the team was forced to take a forfeit loss for week 2 because the coach didn't play. Even though it did have a win in week 1, so it was totally possible that like this team was still valid even after all the changes. But yeah, and a week 3 loss doesn't really help for the team. So like you would expect to get discouraged, but Coda played it out for the rest of the season. Played it pretty damn well, to be honest. And I'm not gonna go over how Coda placed, because that's spoilers for the season, right? But we are now, I think, +4 with a 2-1 differential. I believe that's correct. And yeah, pretty solid week 3 win for us. There's not really that much more to say about the match. I definitely misplayed by letting Absol die. That kind of comes back to bite me later in the season. I won't go into detail on how much that bites me, but it was definitely a misplay. And we made it. We made it to week 4 with a positive differential. Our next week opponent is really tough, but we could save that for next time. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you next week, because I do not plan on recording these over the weekend. It is currently the 4th of July. I've got a lot of chores to do after today. Like, I gotta go out and do other shit. And I don't expect to be fully mobile tomorrow, but, yeah, it's gonna be a rough weekend for me. And, I think GoFest is also going on. So I'm going to try to participate in that, if it is. But yeah, the next upload should be Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Probably closer to Tuesday, I don't know. If I have the time to get it on Monday, I'll get it on Monday. But expect Tuesday. If I can keep these consistent to like Tuesday, Friday, that would be nice. This is obviously going up on a Thursday, just because like I don't know if I'm going to have the energy tomorrow. But yeah. I'll catch you all next week. Have a good one.